Good morning, everybody, and happy Easter. We finally made it. We've gone all the way through Lent. We've gone through all of those sacrifices, all of those different penances. We've gone through Jesus's passion, his death, and now we're finally at the resurrection. And what a joyful day it is as we celebrate the fact that Jesus is victorious over sin and death. That Jesus loves us this much that he enters into every aspect of our lives so that he can bring about his victory. And what happened last night at the Easter Vigil is that there was actually this huge string of readings that went through all of salvation history. They went all the way back to Adam and Eve and focused on how from the moment of their fall, from the very moment of that first sin, God began to plan how he could bring us back into relationship with himself, that God has never given up on us, that God has never abandoned us, but at every single moment is seeking after our hearts to fill us with his life and his joy and his peace. And again, that's what we celebrate today, that Jesus's plan has come to fulfillment, that he has conquered everything that separated us from him so that we can now be in that right relationship with him and be filled with his life and his peace and his joy. And it's so important for us to recognize today that this event isn't just for distant memory, but that the fact that Jesus is not dead, he's alive, is also true today. That Jesus is alive now, that he is present here with me now, and that he wants to have victory in my life, that he wants to bring his light into the darkness, he wants to bring his love into those places of hurt, and he wants to bring his hope and his joy into those places of despair or brokenness, that Jesus is here now, ready to encounter us. And so as we celebrate this Easter Sunday, I'd encourage us to do a couple of different things. The first is to make sure we, again, spend some time to pray, but on this day, to actually spend some time praying and just rejoicing, to give thanks to God for his great love for us, that he is willing to suffer and die that we might have life, and that that plan has been accomplished. I also encourage us to take some time and really just to celebrate. And so maybe you gave something up during Lent, maybe you sacrificed something during Lent, and today would be a great day to actually go back to that thing, as long as it's not sinful, and to be able to say, Lord, I want to rejoice in the good things that you've given me. So maybe I'm going to spend some time eating dessert, eating chocolate. Maybe I'm going to spend some time to make sure that I'm rejoicing in those things that I had sacrificed before, knowing that Jesus has paid the ultimate sacrifice so that we could have his joy, his life, and his peace. The other thing that I would encourage us to do today, and this would have happened last night at the Easter Vigil, is we would have all renewed our baptismal promises. We would have recommitted ourselves to the fact that in baptism we died with Christ so that we could rise with him also. And today would be a great day as a family to actually renew those baptismal promises, to renew our relationship with him, and to know that, again, he is with us, walking with us every single step of the way. Finally, the last thing that I'd encourage you to do as a family is just take some time to read the resurrection account. What would it have been like for Mary to go to the tomb that morning and to discover that the tombstone had been rolled away? What would she have been feeling when she first got there, and how it would have been transformed into hope and joy as she encountered Jesus? And the same thing with Peter and John as they run to the tomb, filled with anticipation and excitement about what they were going to find. And while it didn't make complete sense to them right then, they began to understand that Jesus was truly who he had told them he was, that he was going to rise from the dead, that he was going to live eternally, and that he was going to abide with them to give them his life and his peace and his joy. Brothers and sisters, it's been great spending this past week with you as we've celebrated this Holy Week. And what a great joy it is that we've arrived at Easter Sunday. Jesus Christ is not dead, he is alive. May we open our hearts to encounter him in a deeper way today. God bless you all.